7. Unexploded bombs. Unexploded bombs from World War II have been discovered on various beaches around the world, posing a significant risk to public safety. These discoveries are a stark reminder of the lasting impact of global conflicts. In Hawaii, unexploded World War II-era bombs were found near popular beach areas on the east side of Oahu. The military used these areas for aerial bombing and training activities during World War II, leaving behind munitions that could detonate if disturbed. Despite the danger, the beaches remain open to the public, with warnings to avoid activities like digging or building sand castles. In Suffolk, England, the unexpected collapse of a cliff edge at Pakefield Holiday Park revealed a suspected unexploded bomb. The area was evacuated, highlighting the potential danger these historical remnants pose. In Fort Pierce, Florida, an unexploded World War II aerial bomb was detonated off a beach after being discovered by a construction crew. The area was cleared of swimmers and beachgoers, and no injuries were reported. These incidents underscore the importance of ongoing efforts to detect and remove unexploded ordnance. While these relics of war are a part of history, they also represent a very real threat to public safety. It's crucial that beachgoers remain vigilant and report any suspicious objects to the authorities. 6. Video game burial site. The Atari video game burial was one of the most notorious events in the history of the video game industry. It occurred in 1983, when Atari Inc., a leading company in the arcade and home console markets, faced a major financial crisis due to the oversaturation and decline of the video game market. Atari had produced millions of cartridges for its games, but many of them remained unsold or were returned by retailers. One of the most infamous examples was E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a game that was based on the popular movie and rushed to meet the holiday season deadline. The game was widely criticized for its poor quality and gameplay, and became a commercial flop. Atari reportedly had millions of unsold E.T. cartridges, along with other popular titles such as Pac-Man and Raiders of the Lost Ark. In September 1983, Atari decided to dispose of these unwanted cartridges by dumping them in a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico. The company hired a contractor to transport and bury the cartridges in a secret location, hoping to avoid publicity and controversy. However, the media soon caught wind of the operation and reported on it extensively. The landfill was guarded by security personnel and covered with concrete to prevent scavengers from digging up the cartridges. The event was seen as a symbol of Atari's downfall and the end of the golden age of video games. For decades, the Atari video game burial was shrouded in mystery and speculation. Some people doubted that it ever happened, or that it involved such a large number of cartridges. Others wondered what else was buried in the landfill, or if any of the cartridges were still playable. In 2014, a team of filmmakers, archaeologists, and enthusiasts obtained permission from the city of Alamogordo to excavate the landfill and search for the buried cartridges. The excavation was filmed for a documentary titled Atari: Game Over. The team managed to uncover over 1,300 cartridges of various games, including E.T., confirming the existence and location of the burial site. The recovered cartridges were cleaned and tested, and some of them were auctioned off to collectors and museums. The excavation also revealed other items that were buried with the cartridges, such as consoles, controllers, joysticks, keyboards, and promotional materials. 5. 4,300-foot-long tunnel. Archaeologists recently discovered a tomb dedicated to Osiris, one of ancient Egypt's most important gods, beneath the Egyptian temple Tap Osiris Magna. He was the god of the dead, the underworld, and the afterlife. Kathleen Martinez, an archaeologist at the University of Santo Domenico, discovered the 6.5-foot-tall, 4,300-foot-long tunnel at the temple, which is located west of Alexandria. She also discovered 2 Ptolemaic-era alabaster statues, as well as various pottery jars and pots. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced the discovery last week, describing the tunnel as a geometric wonder. A portion of the tunnel is underwater, possibly as a result of multiple earthquakes that devastated the region between 320 and 1303 CE. Archaeologists believe the temple collapsed because of natural disasters. Archaeologists discovered a range of additional items at the site during previous digs, including coins with the names and pictures of Cleopatra VII and Alexander the Great. They've also discovered sculptures, Isis statues, a mummy with a gold tongue, and even a cemetery packed with Greco-Roman style mummies. Cleopatra, who ruled Ptolemaic Egypt from 51 to 30 BCE, committed suicide in 30 BCE, as did her lifelong lover, Roman commander Mark Antony. Historians think they're buried together, although they're unsure of the location. Martinez has been convinced for years that the Taposiris Magna Temple is where Cleopatra is buried. She began digging as soon as the Egyptian government granted her permission. In the past 15 years, she has made multiple significant discoveries, the tunnel being the most recent. Yet Cleopatra's tunnel remains undiscovered. Martinez said she will not give up and feels like she's getting closer to finding the tomb. According to her, it is her duty to search for the last queen of Egypt, even if there's only a 1% chance of finding her. 4. E.T. replica. In 2011, a unique item was stolen from the home of Margaret Wells in Hampshire, England. It was a life-size replica of E.T., the beloved character from Steven Spielberg's classic film. This wasn't just any replica, it was handcrafted by Wells' daughter as part of a stage makeup course. A few months later, an unsuspecting beachgoer in Portsmouth, England, spotted what they initially thought was a body floating in the surf. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be the stolen E.T. replica. The discovery of the replica sparked a Coast Guard search for a body washed up with the tide, which turned out to be the model alien. The police were called to the scene, and after realizing it was not a human but an alien model, they ensured the extraterrestrial came home. Margaret Wells was delighted to be reunited with her beloved E.T., despite it looking a bit roughed up and missing a finger. She was quoted saying, "There's only one in the whole of England, and that is mine." The police rang and said somebody has found a body in the soil, and it belongs to you. It's E.T. I always knew E.T. would come home. This particular incident underscores the unpredictability of life and the surprises it often throws our way. It also emphasizes the sentimental value that certain objects, even those as unusual as a life-size E.T. replica, can hold for their owners. Margaret Wells' joy upon being reunited with her beloved E.T. is a testament to this. The tale of the life-size E.T. replica that ended up on a beach in Portsmouth continues to captivate and entertain, serving as a reminder of the extraordinary in the midst of the ordinary. Would you keep the E.T. replica if you found it? Tell us in the comments and hit subscribe while you're at it. 3. 1.8 billion trees. A recent study using AI and detailed satellite imagery has detected over 1.8 billion trees and shrubs in the West African Sahara Desert. They were located in the Sahel, the largest sub-humid section of the Sahara Desert, covering 501,933 square miles, or 1.3 million square kilometers. A college professor who led the study said that it was a very surprising discovery because, naturally, the majority of people had assumed trees didn't exist in the desert. He thanks the advancement of today's newest technology, which helped them count hundreds of millions of trees. Such a find is truly the birth of a new era in science. It's essential to gain greater knowledge about trees in dryland areas for a number of reasons. One being that they're an unknown component of the global carbon budget. It's rare to find trees that are not in the average wooded areas, and little study has been done on the ones that have been located elsewhere. As a result, the information scientists have on their carbon stock is slim. These areas are typically large and unknown blank spots on the map, and they've not been identified in the global carbon cycle. The new study also advances knowledge of the significance of trees for ecosystems, biodiversity, and the occupants of these regions. For creating programs that support agroforestry, which plays a significant environmental and economic role in dry regions, improved understanding of trees is particularly crucial. Using satellites to identify the tree species allows us to better understand how certain local populations depend on wood supplies for their livelihood. They will get an understanding of the significance and worth of the trees by figuring it out. The deep learning technique that enabled the counting of trees across such a broad region was created by researchers from the University of Copenhagen's Department of Computer Science. To teach the deep learning model what a tree looks like, the researchers sent it millions of photos of various trees. The algorithm could then automatically detect and map trees over vast areas and hundreds of photos based on the identification of tree forms. The model can do in a matter of hours what it would take thousands of people years to do. The count will then be extended to a far greater region of Africa by the researchers. Additionally, they have long-term plans to compile a global database of all trees that are found outside of forests. 2. World War II fighter planes. In the sands of time, remnants of World War II occasionally resurface, revealing fascinating stories of courage, resilience, and technological innovation. One such relic is a World War II-era American fighter plane, a Lockheed P-38 Lightning, discovered on a beach in Wales. This aircraft, forgotten for over 65 years, emerged due to shifting sands and erosion. The P-38 Lightning, with its distinctive twin-boom design, was one of the most successful fighter planes of the war, serving in both Europe and the Pacific. This particular plane ran out of gas and crash-landed on the beach during the war. For decades, beachgoers were often within a few yards of the aircraft, completely unaware of its existence just beneath the sand. The discovery of the plane stirred considerable interest among British aviation circles and officials of the country's aircraft museums. The International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, TIGHAR, plans to collaborate with British museum experts to recover the nearly intact but fragile aircraft. In another instance, a British couple discovered the wreckage of a crashed World War II fighter plane, believed to be a Bristol Beaufighter TFX aircraft, on a beach in northeastern England. The Royal Air Force RAF Museum confirmed that the aircraft crashed on April 21, 1944, soon after takeoff from nearby North Coats in Lincolnshire, after both engines failed. These discoveries underscore the enduring legacy of World War II and the bravery of the men and women who served. They also serve as a reminder of the technological advancements made during this period, many of which continue to influence modern aviation. 1. 1,570-foot pipe. In the summer of 2017, beachgoers in Norfolk, England were greeted by an unusual sight. A gigantic section of pipe measuring a staggering 1,570 feet, or 480 meters in length, had washed up on the beach between the towns of Sea Palling and Winterton-on-Sea. This was not a one-off event. Earlier that same week, a 656-foot or 200-meter section of pipe had made its appearance at low tide further west at Horsey. These pipes were not native to the English coast. They had broken free from the Norwegian tugs that were transporting them to Algeria. The tugs were involved in an accident with an Icelandic container ship, which resulted in the pipes being sent adrift. The pipes, destined for a power plant in Algeria, had embarked on their journey from Surnadal in northern Norway. The accident occurred on the night of July 18th to 19th, and 12 sections of pipe came loose from the tug. Pipelife, the Norwegian firm responsible for manufacturing the pipes, issued a warning to the public to keep their distance from the beached pipes. The risk of being crushed under the massive structures was real and present. The Maritime and Coast Guard Agency echoed these sentiments, adding that while the pipes posed no environmental risk, they did present a physical danger, especially if they were moving in the water. The insurers of the container ship took action and appointed a salvage master. This individual was tasked with coordinating an operation based in Lowestoft, Suffolk, to recover the pipes and tow them back to Norway. Despite the warnings from Pipelife and the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency, the beached pipes became somewhat of a local attraction. Curious beachgoers couldn't resist the sight of the enormous pipes, with some even daring to walk on top of the pipes and take selfies. This incident serves as a reminder of the unexpected things that can happen at sea and end up on our shores. It also underscores the importance of safety and caution when encountering such unusual objects. Thanks for watching. Remember, the next time you're strolling along the beach, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what piece of history might be lying just beneath your feet. If you enjoyed today's video and want to continue exploring with us, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye.